Do business. Act business. Business
Small and medium enterprises play key roles in transiting and developing the economy of a country. SMEs obviously contribute to economic, social development, and poverty reduction. Hello and welcome. I'm Stephen Ipalabo Lawson, and this is Business Matters, where business truly matters.
Business matters. Let's talk business. Business matters.
The performance and financing of SMEs should be of huge concern to the government of any country. Let us take our business update.
Business matters.
Hey, beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight. Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G.
Entel. Live more.
Business matters.
SMEs in Nigeria have not performed credibly well and hence have not played the expected vital and vibrant role in the economic growth and development of Nigeria. Government should engage professionals in the formulation of policies that will enhance infrastructural development of SMEs, especially electricity. Welcome to our professionals segment.
Business matters.
Joining me in the studio to explore the topic, SMEs financing and its effect on Nigerian economic growth, is a consummate banker, chartered banker, by the way, with over 25 years experience and has an expertise in bank credit and lending, risk management, practice of bank and banking operations, as well as micro banking operations. Is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, as well as a fellow of the Institute of Portfolio Management of Nigeria. He is also an associate member of the Institute of Credit Administration and currently is the MD CEO of Satocard Imperial Resources. I'm talking about no other person than the Lagos State Chapter Chairman of the Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, NASME, and that's in the person of Solomon Aderoju. How are you, sir?
Good day, Mr. Lawson.
It's good to see you.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much.
I'm excited because before we and I came on set, we were talking so much about the power of SMEs and how important it is that SMEs must be given the priority in order for us to be able to drive an inclusive economic growth for all. But as the Lagos State Chapter Chairman of NASME, my first question will be to you is this. What is your take, or what do you think, or how far as SME, as a subsector of the economy, thrived in Nigeria?
Well, thank you, Mr. Lawson. We are thriving. We are growing by the day. I know that in Lagos State Chapter alone, we have over 1,000 members now. And based on the last statistic given by SMES, we are over 4 million SME in Lagos State. We need government support to grow more. We also need bank support and other issues that we need to look at other challenges coming.
Now, one of the things I know about SMEs has to do with the fact that one of the major challenges that they face is especially what the topic we're exploring,
Funding.
financing and funding. We can't seem to talk enough about that. In your own experience as a business owner, would you say that the funding has actually been in place?
Well, just to go straight to the point, we are not yet there. We have a lot of sources, funding, windows and doors, but to access them, they are not as easy as that. We have a lot of intervention fund that's in the back of industry today. We have one back of Agric. We also have development finance, bank finance, DBN. But to access them, talking about conditionalities, terms, the use of collateral, the use of bringing this and that, they are not easily accessible. But in Lagos State, we are lucky because we have another intervention fund coming from Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. That one is very, very key, very germane, and many of our members, they have accessed that because the interest is 5%.
5%?
5%.
What exactly is the principal? I mean, how much limit can you access?
We have a micro. Micro can access up to 500,000. Then we have the small and medium that can access up to 5 million naira.
Okay.
And it's 5% per annum, less security or collateral. It's just a guarantee of somebody and your tax paper, of course, because you need to pay tax to Lagos State government. So, and the repayment for micro is a year program. For small and medium, it's 3 years. And we also have 6-month moratorium.
Okay.
So that to put yourself together, maybe you need the equipment, before the equipment will arrive, before you start production, you have 6 months to put yourself together before you repay both the principal and interest.
Okay, that's quite commendable. As a matter of fact, with 4 million SMEs in Lagos alone, I begin to imagine if the Lagos State government has not looked at that as a major source of revenue, especially when it comes to taxation.
Of course, yes. We are even saying that let's assume that 1 million people, SME in Lagos State, have access to funds, they increase their business, and they pay minimum tax of, let's say, 10,000 naira per annum. That's about 10 billion naira.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
That can actually help in breaching the financial gap, especially when it has to do with infrastructure.
Of course, yes. Of course, yes. So you cannot talk of helping up to 2 million people. So you are talking of 20 billion naira tax coming to the government, apart from employment generation.
Yeah.
If those 4 million people employ, let's say, 2 people.
That's a lot of.
That's a lot.
As a matter of fact, that will help to address some of these issues that deals with insecurity. And I know you and I talked about even xenophobia, which seems to be, a
brain
buzzword
drain,
right now. Mm-hmm.
Crime. So it will checkmate that.
So as a matter of fact, SMEs are too very critical, especially in terms of socio-economic inclusion, in terms of even diversifying the economy itself.
Of course, yes. We always say that any economy that's based on a product, monoproduct economy, is a dead economy ab initio. So we need to look at a value chain economy.
Value chain economy, what does that mean?
Value chain means that you, like a farmer, you produce or you farm, I will buy or I will transport it, then somebody will process it to finished product. Somebody will market it. So you are generating employment across 3 or 4 categories. So that's a value chain. You add value along the line. And along the line also, you generate employment.
That's true.
So you can imagine how many people you employed from production at production level, processing level, haulage level, market level, and so on and so forth.
And you look at the multiple effects.
The multiply effect,
yes,
It's
so actually expansive.
That's what we call a value chain economy. And to be candid, that's the only way we can diversify this economy, to generate more employment, even to reduce crime rate, even to increase our foreign exchange earnings, because when you have value chain, you also export. And when you export, you generate forex. And by so doing, you have a surplus balance of trade. And you also generate foreign exchange, like we are saying that dollar is going down, that means naira is going down, is because we don't generate enough dollars. So If we encourage SMEs to grow, we will be able to export our goods and services to other countries and generate more dollars.
Which a monopoly economy cannot help us
We
achieve.
base everything on oil, and I always say oil is oily because we base everything on oil, and oil is just cash and carry business. You export the crude and import the finished product. You are not adding any value at all.
There's no value chain
There's no value.
aspect in this
There's no
regard.
value. So we need to do something.
Now, one of the things I know for sure is that intervention funds, especially from the Central Bank of Nigeria, must have benefited a lot of SMEs. Has this been your experience so far?
Well, not too palatable, so to say. We have them. We have a lot of funds in back of industry today. We have a lot of funds in the Development Bank, DBN. Back of Agric is just recapitalized by government. But accessibility is what we are talking about. The time it takes our people to access this credit is what we are talking about.
Yeah, but some people will say that a lot of these development or micro finance institutions or financial institutions are a little bit concerned because you're an expert in terms of bank credit and then lending, and that if you're going to access XYZ amount in order to help to improve your operations,
Yeah.
how am I sure you're not going to run with the money? Is that not one of the major hurdles?
Well, we have some of them like that, but what I always say is that, bankers talk about structure, that some of SMEs are not structured. Some you don't know them, but we have some that are in the formal sector that belongs to a BMO, like Business Membership Organization. So why can't you go through the BMOs and the cooperative so that the cooperative will know them? We know everything about their members, and you now tight it up, and look at the executive members of those BMOs and cooperative, and maybe ask them to either guarantee or say something about their members, so they know their members. So the issue of not structure is not there again, because, like I always say, it's just like giving a dog a bad name to hang it. Because some of the SMEs are not structured. Talk of financial track record, they have it. Talk of legality, they are well legalized, they are well registered, they are well incorporated, they have staff structured, but still they are not getting this money as it used to be.
So I wonder what happens to all of that money? Does it just sit in the bank?
Because of condition placed on those funds. Because some of them, you cannot even go straight to back of industry. You will still need to pass through your bank. Then the bank will ask, okay, bring this document, bring that document, and the time is going. And some of these financial institutions, so to say, they don't have enough manpower to go through all these applications. So when you go to some of these institutions today, you have heaps of applications there that
just line follow.
Now follow that they don't have enough manpower to address them.
I keep wondering, how many SMEs are there in Nigeria?
Based on the last statistics given to us by SMEDAN, we are now 41.5 million.
41.5 million SMEs operating in Nigeria.
And we have almost 4 million in Lagos State alone. That's about 18%.
Well, I don't want to believe that it's all gloomy and then there's no good tales here and there, because I know right out there when you and I were in the guest room, you and I were talking about some small-scale businesses, especially one that is being managed by graduates. Yeah. We talked about something like Kuli Kuli and the rest of those, and they are thriving. I would like you to share a little story.
Yeah, in my institution today, as well as small and medium enterprises, we have a youth wing, whereby we have young graduates doing a lot. I have a graduate today that is into production of starch, and he has started exporting it to other countries. I have another graduate that is into production of peanuts, and cashew nuts. And he has already started.
What do they make averagely on a monthly basis? Would that be enough to be able to
a lot of money? I have someone that is into kuli kuli. You call it kuli kuli. It's also granite variety. So it's making average of 300,000 every month. From kuli kuli. And to shock you, he's a chartered accountant.
My oh my!
He's a chartered accountant. So making 300,000 from kuli kuli alone, selling to other states. She's from East, selling to Enugu, Eboyi, Abia State, and all the like. So we have other youths also, some into agriculture, some into telecommunication, ICT. We have vibrant accountants, lawyers, young lawyers in our association. So we have a lot, and even also women going to food processing, manufacturing. You can imagine people making money from shea butter, ori, this
yes,
the black soap, osedudu, and they are making money, hell of money.
And it's keeping body and soul together.
Of course, yes.
One way or the other,
Of course, yes.
Also
Of course,
make sure
yes.
that they are out of trouble.
But we need to be encouraged. We need to be motivated. We need to be funded by government.
SMEs financing, I imagine that microfinance institutions themselves must have a role to play because the commercial banks, the merchant banks seem to have so much in terms of liquidity, but they are risk averse, so to speak. How is it that the microfinance institutions, the microfinance banks themselves,
the microfinance too, they have joined them.
They have joined the commercial.
They have joined the commercial bank. The microfinance bank, when they established the microfinance policy, is just to bring the informal sector to the formal sector. The artisans, people on the road, but today you have many microfinance in glass house, buying cars, behaving like commercial banks, going for short tenor facility, and also the interest rate is maybe 5% per annum per month, which is 60% per annum. No SME can try for that.
60% per annum.
Yes, if it's 5% every month, 5 times 12, that's 60% per year.
Is this for a fact?
Of course, we have 3. Some of them we just say, okay, we want to reduce it to 4%. 4% is still 48%. Even 3.5, they will still have other charges. If they say 3.5% is for you to come in, by the time you come in, they will charge a management fee, legal fee, commitment fee, transaction fee, and so other fees. And
so what's the Central Bank of Nigeria doing to address this?
They are also saying that because of their own source of fund, they always defend themselves that because their source of fund, they are not having grants from government, they are not having any fund from government. They also borrow from other commercial bank or other people. And, somebody like you, Mr. Lonson, you cannot place your money with any microfinance bank because you may not have confidence in them.
Maybe because I don't have much money, but if I have so much money, I think why would I have it?
You have money. You have money. You are one of those people that are agitating for foreign food because
no, I don't. I eat gari.
Because you eat babies.
No, I eat gari. I eat kuli.
So you don't want
Ijebu gari, by the way, is what I eat. As a matter of fact, I think I should start up.
But
I
if
should
you
start
eat
packaging
going
Ijebu
like me, you will not support that.
Ewa going and agege bread. That is my combo.
Okay, which is very good. So that is it.
So what's the way forward? Because if we don't have access to credit, we do not have access to grants, we don't have access to funds, why do we bother? Where do we get these funds from?
The government need to help us. They need to give us grants. We need to have some agent investors like other countries. People that we have some of them here today, but we are not yet there. So when you have agent investors as a new starter, you will have confidence, believe in your project. You show him your business plan. You look at the business itself, the operational dynamics, the marketability of your product, your future, that's a financial projection. And you can just start with you as an equity provider or debt provider. So then grants can also be given by government, okay? And also banks also need to support us.
Are Nigerian banks supporting business?
They are also coming up. The bone of contention is that they are looking at their own source of fund as well.
But they declare profit after tax.
They declare profit.
That are in
But Nigerian banks, without any apology, they want cash and carry business. They want business that they can just the cycle of 90 days, like import finance. So if you bring in your product, you sell it off within 90 days, you go for another tranche. Bank is making its money, the customer is making his money, but somebody is suffering. That's the economy is suffering because you are not generating any employment. So, but if you give SMEs this money, SME will be able to generate employment, employ 2 or 3 people, pay tax. By so doing, you are adding value to the economy, you are generating more foreign exchange, and also you are
And of course, your banks too will thrive because you
the
have
bank
more
will also
businesses
thrive.
to
You are also paying
cater
tax
for.
to government. Then you also increase the GDP of the economy. Today, as of today, SMEs, we are contributing 50% to the GDP of Nigeria.
Wonderful.
And we can do more than that if we are encouraged, if we are supported, if we are funded.
In what way, Mr. Solomon, can the banks and the SMEs align beyond even this conversation? Because I'm very sure a lot of them are watching as it is. What way can we, bankers out there who are watching this and the SME sector, so to speak, in what way can we align our objectives in order to have impact on the economy?
I think there should be a forum whereby all of us will meet intermittently from time to time. We always agitating for maybe MSME council. We have MSME council in some states, but they are not active. Whereby intermittently, maybe bi-monthly, quarterly, periodically, we meet. Everybody will now meet at the round table and discuss our problem. The banks will be there, the SMEs operator will be there, the government too will be there. So we discuss the problem, the fundamental problem, and how to resolve it. But we are too far from one another. So government need to coordinate all of us through the MSME Council. So let government have MSME Council in all the states, whereby MSME operator and banks and government will meet. Government will now know their own duties, responsibilities, and obligations. Banks will also know their own duties, obligations, and responsibilities. Then MSMEs also operator through their BMOs, business membership organization, we also know their also duties and obligations. So at times when you want to crucify MSMEs that you are not structured, we are structured. Where's the money? Bank will also say this is their own problem. Then government will also tell us what they can do at that forum.
I want to say a big thank you, Mr. Solomon Aderoju. It's been a wonderful time out with you. Like I tell you, time always flies. It's amazing. And that we hope that we're going to have you again to definitely explore this topic further.
No problem.
Thank you so very much,
Thank you.
sir. All right, viewers, this is so much we can take on the interview segment of Business Matters, just like you've heard it out. And I'm making this call out to the Nigerian bankers as well as the government. We need to be able to create what you want to call a tripartite relationship, where we can have a quarterly or a regular meeting point to address some of those concerns and issues in order for us to impact the economy positively. Well, on that note, Business Matters continues.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G.
Entel. Live more.
Business matter. Let's talk business. Business matter. Business matter. Let's talk business. Business matter.
SMEs account for more than 90% of all firms outside the country's white-collar job sector, constituting a major source of employment and generates significant domestic and export earning.
Business matter. Let's talk business. Business matter.
The importance of SMEs is such that it cannot be ignored by the government of any country, especially in Nigeria, which constitutes the driving force of industrial growth and development. It therefore makes it a sector that should be focused, cared for, and nurtured by the government by making funds available at very low interest rate so as to thrive and survive. That is how much we can take and bring to you on this edition of Business Matters. Please do reach us on all our various social media platforms. Till I come your way next week, I'm Stephen Ipalobo Lawson. Thanks for watching.